Hello, I am Lewis Nichols and welcome to my brand new online series of the Big Brother reunions. I am reuniting housemates from every single series of Big Brother to reflect on their time, what happened after they left the house, and much, much more. In this series, I am reuniting former lovers, enemies, and friends, and much more. On today's episode, I am reuniting the housemates from Big Brother 1, the first ever series. They reflect on Nasty Nick, they reflect on being part of the first ever show, and much more. Don't forget to tune in on Monday, where I have 6 Big Brother 2 stars who will reflect on their time on the show. And then every Monday and Friday, there'll be a brand new episode, all the way to the very end. So I hope you enjoy. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for exclusive content. Thank you and enjoy. So hello and welcome to a very special Big Brother 1 reunion. I'm really excited. We've got the 3 powerful ladies of the show who actually haven't aged a bit, which is incredible. I don't know what I was expecting, but you just look really good. So let's say hello to NICHOLA.
Hello.
Hello. And
Hi,
you've got
everyone.
your daughter with you as well.
My daughter Ava Rose. This is Talia, her best friend. This is Rocky.
And then we've got the lovely Claire, who's in a place which I think is going to make everybody jealous right now. It looks like paradise.
Yeah.
It is.
And then the lovely NOLAN. I'm so happy that you've joined us today. And yeah, you're my choice of being the winner in the first series. So how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. Yeah, in raising
He's a creep, isn't he, Anna?
What?
He's a creep. What a creep saying that already.
So I know that there are some people that wanted to join us today. Craig, with his work commitments, couldn't make today's day. And then we were given some best wishes from Andy, who's doing really well with work, and he sends his love. So does Caroline and Melanie, who couldn't make it. But I wanted to speak to you all really, because with the first series of the show, none of you knew what to expect. Obviously, everybody else onwards knew kind of what they were getting into. So when you saw the article to be on the show, for you, NICHOLA, what made you want to actually go on it? Because it's the unknown, isn't it?
To be honest, I was on a come down from a night out. And, I sat watching Hollyoaks and it came up in between Hollyoaks and I thought it'd be a great idea to ring up, you know, when you have one of them moments when you're still drunk. But yeah, let's ring up, and then it just went from there. I don't know, it was one of them drunken moments and I thought, yeah, we'll get a tattoo done for the interview thing, and we'll film me having a tattoo done. And yeah, so it just went on from there. And then when I went for the interview, I told them I like taking my clothes off, and I think that's why I got in. The truth.
And what about for you, Anna? What was it about the show that made it appealing and made you want to take part in it?
I think I was drunk. Well, I was drunk at lots of different stages of the application process. So I was sipping cans of Budweiser in my house in Camden and watched the documentary about it, and then Channel 4 put up an ad, you know, do you want to join, you know, do you want to take part? And yeah, I took part, and I also remember going to the kind of audition day. I was drunk there as well because I just left a preview. So alcohol was
I think we were just so drunk when we applied and thinking, oh, this would be a good idea. And all our families are going, please don't do it. Please don't do it. We're like, yeah, it'd be great.
Claire, were you drunk?
No.
The only
Could have been, no, I think, with hindsight.
Simple one.
Well, because you obviously joined later into the series, replacing Nick. So how did that all work for you? Did they tell you that you were on standby, or did they get in touch with you kind of right before you went in?
Yeah, no, I went through the same process as everybody else. I started at the beginning, and I was actually, Darren said that he remembers being in one of the first interviews with me, because you had like group ones to start off with, and then it got narrowed down, they got smaller and smaller. And then we went to, they told me it was down to the last 20, and we went to Endemol head office, and then they said that we've picked our 10 and you're on the reserve list. So I was like, obviously not happy about that, and I thought, well, I'm not going to watch a stupid programme then, if you're not going to put me on it. I did. So when I went in, everybody thought, oh, she's got a bit of an advantage, she's been watching it. I genuinely wasn't, because I didn't want to increase their ratings. I mean, how pathetic is that? Like, one is going to make any difference.
And
Good on you.
for Anna and Nicola, because obviously you were very much at the centre of one of the, I think it's the most legendary, most talked about, and we spoke the other day, Nicola, and you said you think it's kind of what made the show, which is of course Nasty Nick and that incident. And when you look at it now, you look back and think, well, it's a game, you know, it's part and parcel. But actually, back then, no one knew what the game was, so it must have given you a sense of feeling betrayed. And the first kind of manipulation that was seen in the house. So what was it like to actually live in there with that?
I just found it really paranoid. I'm paranoid anyway. But when you're in somewhere like that and something like that happens, you know, all of a sudden you just think everyone is like doing something behind your back.
Yeah.
Everything's magnified, isn't it, Anna? Claire.
Yeah.
Everything 10 times. Like you have an argument with someone in there, and it's like you can't actually just walk away because you're stuck in there. It's like, oh, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean, Anna, they replayed the episode on the best shows ever, and watching it back now and I guess I actually felt sorry for him. Now, obviously, at the time it's completely different, but when you see him there and he looked, obviously it's different, you know, I wasn't in the house, neither was the fans, but with the way that things are now, I felt a little bit sorry for him. However, it must have been, you were living with this guy and essentially playing people off with each other. So what was it like for you? Because you were such an easygoing housemate, and that was the first kind of opportunity, the first kind of moments that you saw some not very nice behaviour. So what was it like for you?
Well, as Nicola said, we're also super sensitive to whatever was going on. So, you know, if someone said something that was slightly, you'd be hugely offended, or you'd be really annoyed. And you're trying to find allegiances and, you know, kind of make friends, you know, that sort of playground stuff that we all do as kids. So when Nick started doing this, I wasn't aware, totally out of the loop. You know, he wasn't showing any names for me. But yet there were rumblings of this sort of cheating going on. And we all, like, when you look back, it's kind of funny, but we were all just really packed off. You know, we were really, this guy was cheating. We were all playing by the rules, and you had to be fair, you know, honest with each other. And he was just, you know, I didn't feel sorry for him at all. You know, I kind of never liked him. So, you know.
So were you delighted when Claire came in? Because obviously Claire came in such a bundle of energy and a really the opposite of nasty, just adorable. So what was it like for both of you to see Claire actually come into the house?
You made me sound like a puppy.
It was twofold. It was great to have, you know, this new energy and a positivity, and just somebody who was, you know, kind of had a lightness to her. And Claire was just so warm and friendly. And yet the other side of it is going, oh my God, you know, we have rules. We talk to each other this way. The structure has been set up that, you know, we've all learned to live by. So this new person comes in and bursts it all open. So part of me was going, I don't like this because it's new. And then another part of me thought, she's fantastic.
Is that the same for you, Nicola?
I miss Claire because I met Claire.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you were left.
Like Claire took me out when she got out, and I ended up on jet skis in the middle of a river about after a night out.
Yeah, I remember.
That's how I met her, and her friends took me off, and it was mad. But yeah, I met Claire afterwards, so because I wasn't in the house.
Yeah,
with
laugh,
her,
didn't we?
So.
Do you know what, Ando? I remember you being like really. Do you remember everyone kind of the house went a bit low after, and you said to me, "Don't worry, it's not you. You know, we're fine. We're just adjusting. It's just a bit weird." You were very sensitive about what was going on, and you were very aware that the dynamics had changed, and that for somebody coming in that was new, it was a little bit odd to everyone be fed up. You know, it was a bit. You were lovely. You were always lovely.
Oh, thanks, Claire.
Anna was the real, like the good energy in there. I think like never took sides, never really argued with anyone. You know, I lost the plot quite a few. They were hiding the knives. Remember they started hiding the knives from me, Anna, when I kicked off that time. She's losing the plot. I just lost. I just thought I was going to like kill everyone.
Oh,
Like I say,
you were the best fun in the house.
well,
I was just mad about it. Your energy was just fantastic, and you didn't take any nonsense either. But you were just brilliant fun. Like you could cry laughing with you.
we did have a good laugh. I mean, the main thing is we definitely had a good time in there. Afterwards, I found it really difficult. I've got to be honest.
In what
You know,
sense?
straight afterwards, just walking down the street or being on the tube, or you just couldn't go anywhere, and it just made me feel a bit like, oh my god, I can't go anywhere, because it was like it was quite suffocating.
Yeah.
And you didn't think in the time I felt like it was never going to end. You know, it was like you're still in the house when you left.
Exactly.
It's like I was in the lift in the hotel, and I was looking through the mirrors to see if there's a bloody camera behind the mirrors.
Well, you came to live with me for a little bit, didn't you? Because you had lots of work and nowhere to stay. And you were vulnerable. I remember that. I remember feeling really, because I got to know you quite well after, didn't I? I remember feeling really bad for you because you were kind of just left hanging a little bit, I felt. Yeah,
because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have anyone looking after me. I just got dumped in the middle of London with 2 suitcases. Right, go and find yourself somewhere to stay. And in the end, Claire helped me find, I got a place in Notting Hill, didn't I? You helped me get that flat in Notting Hill. So I ended up moving there. But I remember, was we roller skating that day or something? I can remember us wearing roller skates in my flat. I don't know why. It was
keeping a low profile like you do.
I think it was just very daunting because without the good, without the right people behind you afterwards, I think really deep down now I should have gone straight back to Bolton and found my feet a little bit. You know, because you dumped in London and then you're expected at the click of a finger. This interview, and I ended up just getting completely exhausted. I just lost my voice, and
To say the thing with that is obviously from series 2, a lot of people openly admit they went on the show to kind of have a bit of fame and boost their profile. But for you guys, you didn't know what you were walking into. You didn't know the success and the ratings that you were going to have. So, and you look at reality TV shows, there wasn't anything like this. So it's the first time of the overnight fame as such. So how did you adjust from going in there to not being known to then coming out and people knowing everything about you, being in magazines, being in newspapers? What is that like to actually deal with?
Claire.
I don't know. I found
you had a baby with Tom, didn't you? I forgot that.
Yeah, a year later. I told he's 18. He's 18 now. He's not a baby anymore. He's a lovely, grown, handsome man. But I think I struggled a little bit. It was fun at first, and then, like Nicola says, you couldn't turn it off, and it stopped being fun. And it's a catch-22 because you need to earn money. You need to do things like you've left your kind of life behind as such, and you still need to live. And the money was really good as well for things afterwards. So you're keeping it going, but at the same time wanting it to stop. Does that make sense? That's how I felt. But I'm not complaining. I did love it. I'm just, I know that I worked out pretty quickly that I didn't like being famous.
No.
And what about you, Anna? Because you've now got a great profile and a brilliant presenter. So obviously you're still in that lifestyle. But what was it like to adjust to at the very beginning? Did you find it difficult?
Yeah. As Claire said, it was fun at first because you're getting invitations to whatever, China White, you know, or you're getting invitations to everything, and it's such a strange world that you're to, because you might be in a function and there's a Blue Peter presenter over there, and then there's somebody from Top of the Pops there, or there, you know, there's all these, you're just kind of faces all gathered together by PR companies or by whatever, you know, to be at a celeb event. And that's great fun initially, but then it's difficult, very difficult. You know, your popularity is also going. You know, people don't care about the show anymore as much. You know, they don't care about you any much. And I do remember there was a point where I thought, you know, I have to leave this, I have to stop doing this, and kind of be sensible about getting some work out of it. Otherwise, I'll go mad, you know. And it was kind of, I remember maybe 3 or 4 months afterwards, I felt quite depressed and quite down, because the come down after Big Brother, you know, the biggest show in decades, was massive. I found it really, really tough.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing as well is that you still, well, after you've done it, you don't, because you've never been famous, and because we didn't expect what we got. I think all of us, we never had an after plan, or we never. I don't know about you, but I never thought about afterwards. And I needed you still need to earn a living. So to do a regular job, people see you as a failure. It was like, it was difficult, really difficult to sort of, because I was okay with it and I was kind of happy to move on, but you're not allowed to either, are you? A lot of the time. Ironically, here I'm doing this call, but you know, but no, but it was like that. Did you feel like that bit?
Yeah, definitely. It was really difficult. I mean, I found it very difficult to get work afterwards. I just did my own thing for a couple of weeks. I moved into a musician in Hertfordshire, and I made my own textiles off the money that I got from after the show. So I made like a collection. I did some fashion shows in London, and I was doing really well, but the money dried up because I was going away practically every weekend, going to festivals, and you know, 3 years and it were all gone. But
you've been living. You've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All over the world, so that was brilliant. And I managed to do my own textile collection. I've still got it all. And then it got to the point where I thought I'm going to have to. And I ended up nannying Stanley Kubrick's grandson out the blue. I was living in Hertfordshire, answered an advertisement, went nannying for this little boy, found out it was Stanley Kubrick's grandson. So then I'm like, nannying. I didn't even know who Stanley Kubrick was. It was my boyfriend at the time, said, he's a famous director, you silly cow. Like, I'm like, oh, right, really? Total courage and all that. I was like, oh, whatever. So I nannied for him for a while, and then I moved back to Manchester, and I ended up getting a job with Armani. And that was my first normal job. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I did get grief. I got grief. I was on the shop floor in Manchester, and people were like, oh, you're that bird off Big Brother. You know, to you, as though you've like, I'm like, yeah, and, you know. So yeah, a few people got escorted out the store because like the security guy goes, you know. So it was quite good like that. But you know, it was hard. Like you say, it was hard to go back to normal. It's like people didn't want you to, and it's so difficult.
I tell you where though, I learned very abruptly to be humble and not lose my head. I was helping my nan. My nan had a flower shop on Valentine's Day, and she said, "Can you come in?" It was only sort of 6 months after, so your profile's still relatively out there. And I said, "What do you want me to do?" And she went, just keep everything organised, you know, sweep the floors, that kind of thing. So I'd been sweeping the floors all day. My nan's shop had this big glass window. The people walking past again and looking in all day long. And then they'd come in and say, "Are you Claire from Big Brother?" And I was like, yes, I am. They were like, "Are you Claire from Big Brother?" I was like, yes. And I think it was about 4 or 5 o'clock. This guy came in, he went, "Excuse me, are you?" And I went, yes, I am, okay? And he went, "You're open till 8. That's brilliant. I'll see you later." I was like, that would teach you. Get back in your box, Claire.
The thing is, Claire, for you, obviously you came in later on, but you made an impact in regards to making the papers and stuff. So I wanted to talk about you and Tom. Do you stay in contact?
Well, he's half of my son, so yeah. Not regularly, but we do, yeah.
Amazing.
We're okay. Funny enough, I actually WhatsApped him the link to this, and but he hasn't read it. Just saying, you know, if you want to come and join us, here's the login details. Tom's cool. I can't speak for him, but I do feel that he really wanted to move on from it immediately.
To ask everyone, really, what was so if you think back now, what's the funniest moment that you can always remember that you experienced in the house? Something that just always kind of makes you laugh. And I'll start that with Claire.
Oh no. Do you know something? I had so many moments that I look back and I loved. I loved every minute of it. I really did. I think we were lucky for the first one because, like you say, we didn't know what we were doing. and I think that allowed us to just enjoy it a bit more. There was one time, do you remember we did this we put bin bags in the garden and put the hose on it? Do you remember that, Anna? And we were running and sliding down the grass. I love that.
Oh my God, it's such simple fun when you think about it. Like, I'm sure when you know, Claire or Nicola, if you watch the show these days at all, like the budget that they must have, and like we were in a prefabricated house that was freezing at times. You had to get heaters in at one stage. There was an ant infestation where, you know,
yeah, badly.
It was barely standing up, and like
the kitchen was falling apart. Do you remember? The doors used to fall off. Everything. The kitchen was just falling apart. It was a mess.
You would never
we completely trashed it though, didn't we? We trashed the whole house in year one, didn't we? No one else did that, did they? I bet the woman who actually built the house, she went, you absolutely trashed the whole thing. There was nothing to do. What to do, like.
It was like a hostel, and actually, as the years went by, they were given fancier, I don't know, treats. You know, they could bring in makeup. Like we had nothing. I remember like leaving outfits. I think I said to Mel, could I borrow her vest? That was my leaving outfit. You know.
Your chair as well. The chair was like something like a computer chair. It wasn't exactly glamorous.
I know, yeah. Rubbish. That's why we started decorating it, because it was boring. Yeah, really boring.
So Anna, what was your funniest moment?
Yeah.
I had lots of laughs. I really enjoyed it as well. It was, you'd be kind of delirious with the tiredness and just boredom that the most ridiculous thing would make you laugh. You know, I can't pinpoint one moment exactly, but yeah, I can't pinpoint one, but there was lots of giggles. Darren as well. I found Darren great company as well. He was a fantastic drama queen at the best of times. So he had a lovely energy, and I can't think of one. Lots of funny moments.
What about you, Nicola? Because you literally, I spoke to you on Monday briefly, and you're very funny. So you must have had a lot of moments. You have a lot of humor.
Honestly, it was just mayhem every day. It was mayhem. Try and think of things. I mean, it's like afterwards when people say, you know, every time, Nicola, you took your top off in the garden, all the cameramen had to panic because it was going live in Leicester Square. So I was like, that's why no one ever sees me hardly ever on the programme. I'm always naked, like out sunbathing, trying to get it all over town. It's like you can hear all these cameramen like, quick. So, the funniest time, I was trying to think of one the other day, is when I said to Darren to sit on my face. We was having an argument. I'm like, oh, sit on my face. Sit on your sit on your face. Started freaking out at me. Oh, we had a big fallout about that. He didn't like that.
Surprise.
But, I mean, I told him to sit on my face. I didn't say I was going to sit on his face. I mean, but yeah, that was quite traumatic because I love Darren to bits, and we had a bit of a row about that. So it went to sulk in the bedroom after that. There's so many things. I can't remember to do loads of different tasks. I can't remember most. Watch it all again to remember all the mad bits, because there's so many mad bits every day. It was bonkers.
Yeah,
it was so bonkers.
Yeah, the tasks were so dull compared to, you know, like we had to cycle on stationary bikes.
That
was
I remember that.
Kill the audience.
Do you remember when we had to make paper mache life-size versions of ourselves, and we had to photocopy our body parts?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I remember that.
And Mel was falling over. Craig was doing it with the tea towel and just crying with laughter as it fell out. I remember that. That was funny. You laughing so hard you were crying. But this wasn't a funny moment. Do you remember when we all? I can't actually remember who was there, but there was a moment where one night the sun went down and we were stood on the bench and looking over the top of the wall. Were you there, Anna?
I don't know.
I just remember that being really surreal. You could see the 3 gas stations rings in the east end of London, and I remember looking Yeah, and it was just a real moment. You know, like when you get goosebumps. So I remember thinking, like, the whole world can see us, and no one can see what we can see. It was really weird.
Yeah,
it was surreal.
When you think about it, it was mad, and I still think about it. You know, I think about that today. We locked ourselves away for fun, you know, and we allowed the public to decide.
We need locking up properly, don't we? Yeah, it is a bit of a mad thing to do.
I'm grateful about who they picked, though, because I do think we were lucky to get each other. I genuinely do think that, you know, even though we never kept in contact really, and I feel like, you know, if the people in there hadn't have been who they were, we wouldn't have had as much fun, for sure.
No, we were proper cranky the first lot. I think the first lot, if you look at us all, we're like, where did you pick that from? You know, like you look at the grave, we're like, how did you pick that? It's just a mishmash of like, what was going on in the heads when they were picking us? I've no idea. But yeah, it worked. It did work. It's mad. It's mad when you put loads of people together. It is difficult, but to do that and be in that space with like 9 strangers, it's so intense. But it worked, and it was good. You know, I think it was the first one we went on because I wanted to go on the one. I've never watched it since I was on it. I never watched it afterwards because every time I heard the music playing, it used to give me butterflies and make me really worked up. I could watch it.
You know, when it comes to nominations, because as a fan of the show and someone who watches it, you sit there and think, oh, you know, come on, say your nomination. You knew you were going to do this when you go in there. But actually, when you've made relationships with people, is it actually really difficult to sit down and then have to give 2 nominations and then a reason behind it? Did any of you struggle with nominations?
Yeah.
You did.
I didn't like... Here's the thing, because I didn't have long enough really to get... too attached, you know what I mean, in there. But they said to me, you need to nominate, and I think just naturally I don't like to be bad to people, and it felt like you were being bad. You guys, they were all dying. I remember it being so serious, and I was thinking, look, I'm not happy about it, but you know, it's not the end of the world. But you struggled, didn't you, all of you guys? I remember, Anna, do you remember as it got closer to the end and people had been together longer, it was awful, actually.
Yeah, it was. And I remember one time, I think Darren or Mel was in the diary room, and we could hear
Darren
nominations, and whoever it was could hear their name. They were devastated. It was just Mel maybe heard Darren nominating her or something the other way around, and it was a very tough thing to do. It was very, you know, because then you have to come out and go,
that was a bit actually I didn't like, because I felt really bad for him. That was when it was sort of, it wasn't fun for a little bit. That was the only thing I remember as not being very nice, if I'm honest.
No.
Yeah.
Have you actually looked online? I did this the other day. I don't know why I did it because I shouldn't have done it. But looked online who nominated you every week.
No.
Who nominated
you?
You still have a grudge.
Craig was nominated for a week.
Brilliant.
When I see him, I was like, what have you got against me, Craig? It's like, apparently Craig said when he see me, he went, God, she looks all right, but when she opens the gob, it's a nightmare. Craig said that about me, and I thought, you know what, Craig, you know, ditto.
You wanted him on this call, didn't you, to tell him? He's had a lucky escape, he doesn't even know it.
You know what? Not just that, my ex-husband, well, I'm still married to him, he said that he was a personal trainer at the same time. He was a personal trainer in Liverpool, and Craig went out and stole all my husband's cards, advertising his gym, and advertised himself.
Craig Phillips, dirty little devil.
Make sure you have a go at it.
Housemates, just because we spoke to some of them to ask them to come on, and Caroline now works for a dating agency.
I can imagine her doing that.
But Andy works in business. He wanted to keep away. But you know the lady who I was speaking to you, Nicola, about it. The lady who won first. Is it Sada? Sada. She's now changed her name to Amrita, and she does yoga and studies Buddhism and everything now.
Yeah. Well, she's actually called Alison. But she changed it. I told you this the other day.
Yeah.
Her name's Alison. She changed her name to Sada, and then she's changed her name again. So, like I say, each to their own. I don't know. But she has got a twins. She had twins pretty soon after the show, I think.
Okay.
I read that on the internet. Yeah, she moved to Argentina, I think, and got married and had twins.
Amazing.
Very
yeah.
good.
So,
Why not?
I wanted to kind of speak about what life's been like since leaving the house and what you do. So I want to start with Anna because we all know working, presenting, and you're doing incredibly well. So how did that actually all come for you? Was it since leaving the house? Did the opportunity just come up for you?
Yeah. So I was asked to do Davina's agent was a guy called John Noel. And I had a meet with him, and then I got some work with the BBC for a few years and presenting over in London. And then a job came up over in Ireland, so I was presenting for a few years on and off, and then I got into production. So that's what I do now. Produce and work in development for an Irish production company. So still in
the Craig Logan of Bros. the secret genius behind everybody else.
Do you present MasterChef in Ireland? Am I right in saying?
No, I present the Great Irish Bake Off.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, that was a nice gig. It's so funny. Each year, I say that each year I'd start off nice and slim presenting that show, and then I'd be the by the end. I'm like, whoa.
Amazing. And Claire, well, I mean, we know you've done incredibly well because you're in paradise. So tell us what you've done since leaving the house, because you live now in Spain, don't you?
Yeah. No, it was really hard work and everything, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. I mean, I didn't come here to live. I came here because of I had my son, and I was a bit in limbo and I didn't know what to do. So I thought, well, I'll go to Spain for a few years and enjoy him while he's little, and then when he starts school, I'll go back to England. And it just never happened.
Wow.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Looks amazing. And Nicola, what about yourself?
well, I'm still doing it every now and again. I make clothing out of recycled fabrics. I wasn't making much money out of that, so I've decided I've qualified as a personal trainer. Been training for over 20 years, doing bodybuilding. I've just not done anything for the last few months because the gyms have been closed. And I'm studying to be a sports massage therapist.
Brilliant.
So I run my own creche, as you can see.
Honestly, you look fantastic. You really do.
Yeah, you
haven't changed a bit.
You all look incredible, honestly.
My life's just mayhem from day to day. I'm definitely coming to Marbella. I'm definitely coming over to Ireland. Are you still in Ireland, Anna?
Absolutely.
Dublin. Are you Dublin
I'd love us all to see each other. That would be cool. I'd like it. I think we should definitely organise it one day.
I think we should definitely have a party in Marbella. It's my 50th next year, Anna. Marbella, all of us, yeah?
I'd love to meet up. It's so lovely seeing both of you, actually. And it's just so easy to talk to you both. Because in a weird way, we kind of shared a really, as you say, Nicola, intense thing that no one else has. We were the guinea pigs, and we did it all together. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Would you ever go back in if there was an opportunity where they did like an in-house where they got some housemates back in? Would any of you actually go back in?
I'd only go in if it was the original gang again. I would definitely. Yeah,
that would be so funny. It would be a nightmare, I'd imagine, but so funny.
Would you do it, Claire?
Yeah, definitely. I loved it. I loved every second.
Would you go in there if the return of Nasty Nick came? Because the thing is, I don't know if you remember, they did Ultimate Big Brother, and Nick went back into the house, and he actually came third, and the public changed their opinions on him when he went. I don't know if you remember.
No, he was a cool guy. I met him after. He was funny, a bit odd, but funny. Nice.
Yeah, very odd.
Well, it's been amazing to get the group of the first ever show, because it made history and it paved the way for everybody else that's featured in the series going forward. And it looked like you had a hard time in the sense where you look at the house in the later years, it's the most fanciest, glamorous.
Yeah.
But like Anna said, it was a little bit like a hostel. When you watch back, you're kind of like, wow, Marcus Bentley's voice has completely changed since then.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Lovely to see you guys.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed the show. It was great fun to speak to Anna, Nicola and Claire. It took a lot of work to try and get them on, but join us on Monday where it's not to be missed. We have 6 Big Brother 2 stars reflecting on their time, and it's the return of Narinda, one of my favourite ever housemates. So honestly, it's not one to be missed. That's Monday, 7 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and enjoy.